welcome to the Onward VR Master League. My name is TFH, and tonight I am going to be joined by my good friend and fellow co-caster, SnooperFax. How you doing today?
I'm actually doing pretty good. There's a storm outside in Florida, as usual, but...
I mean, when is it not?
It's been raining every day.
I mean, it almost seems as if God hates Florida, because every time you hear about a hurricane, it is going to Florida, whether you like it or not.
Yeah. That's not the only storm we have down here, but we don't need to talk about that. We have a great game between Riot and Delta Squad. Two pretty good teams that are relatively even matched up from what I'm looking. Looks like we got a little bit of a favoritism on Riot in the vote count, but for the most part, I couldn't predict how this is going to end.
Yeah, I think the connoisseurs listing does favor Riot. They've been casted a lot this season. I'm going to blatantly admit to that. I'm actually really surprised at how much Riot has been casted. We're both former Riot members. I think the amount of casts that have happened to this team this season, double the amount that we've ever been casted on both of our tenures on this team. And my tenure extends from season 4, so that's a big number. But regardless, Riot has been putting out some amazing games so far, and it's going to be incredible to watch either way you look at it.
Yeah, I mean, they've gotten better, and Delta Squad's gotten better. These teams are, like I said, pretty evenly matched up. Riot's going to ban Snow Peak, which, I mean, that's a map most teams don't like, so we kind of understand why. It's got tunnels, it's got different uniforms that kind of look the same between the teams. The Volk has black, a little bit of black on them. The Marsoc just doesn't have the black on them, and it's like, okay, I get why you'd ban that. It's a kind of an odd map. Delta's banning Tanker. Another sort of, some teams really like it map, and some teams really hate it map. I know personally I kind of like Tanker this season. I've been having fun with it. But some teams just hate it. It's dark, it's close quarters, there's a lot of stuff that people can hide behind, and you get ambushed a lot. So yeah. I understand both bans. They're kind of low-tier maps that most teams don't exactly like unless you've played them a lot and you've got strats for it. What do you think?
I think Riot has done really good on Tanker as well, to kind of add on to what you were talking about before. And so maybe Delta Squad is seeing that and they're like, oh, we don't want to mess with that. We don't want any part of that. So we're going to go ban that one because we don't want that. Or it could just be, you know, they don't like Tanker as much as Riot hates Snow Peak, but which is a possibility. Like you said before, Tanker's kind of it's a different map than the Onward norm. But regardless, that is what the bans are going to be. And map 1 is going to be a classic. It's going to be Quarantine.
Oh, I personally really love Quarantine. It's a nice, big, open map. Lots of maneuvering room, lots of buildings to hide behind, lots of little places that people can hide. And that kind of sounds like a bad thing. It sounds like you're going to get ambushed a lot, but with the maneuverability and... it's just a really good map for defense and offense to constantly spar and go back and forth on.
And most of the players are working their way on in right now. So we should have an on-time start, hopefully. Hopefully. Don't let me jinx the whole world here, but...
We're only waiting on 2 members of Riot, so we're looking pretty good. We got a full Delta Squad already in the lobby.
Delta Squad?
Yes, Delta Squad.
Delta Squad. That is the name now.
But yeah, Quarantine is a map that I think a lot of teams really like. You can basically plan out your strategy. You can move your team around. There's only a few spawns that are relatively just like heavily favoring one side. So you kind of have I want to say a better chance of getting out of spawn, maneuvering, getting most of your team alive, to the objective. And the same with defense. You can really dig in. You can find some great spots to lock up the offense's movement. And then if you happen to find out they spawn somewhere else, you have enough maneuvering room, enough places to hide, that you can counter that too. And a smart team will use their, intelligence to move their team around to react to that.
Well, let's go over the rosters as they are right now while we wait for Riot's fit. We're going to start with Delta Squad. on the Delta squad, as you so affectionately call them, SnooperFax, we've got Deadly Z Driver, who I believe is a new pickup for them, off of the Rookie Bootcamp tournament or around that time thing. We also got Random Thing Selko, who's also another member of the Rookie Bootcamp tournament. Scratch 69, because everyone loves to put that at the end of their name. Delta Wilson, the team captain and co-captain, and one of my former Rookie Bootcamp members, Death Legion. On Riot's side, we have the Unseen Threat, or his screen name now is Unseen. Xandria, the team captain, Dr. Sean and Reaper Madness, both former 5 Horsemen members, picked up by Riot. And we're still waiting on the last member, but we have a good selection of players to choose from for that 5th spot. So it's going to be really exciting to see who that 5th member is going to be and what Riot is going to bring against a team like Delta Squad.
Yeah, I mean, I like I said, I can't really predict how this is going to go. I've seen both teams play, I guess Riot more so this season than Delta Squad, but I mean, I've played with all these players and they're all relatively good players. They're on the same level. Whether the teams can work cohesively, that's a different story. I mean, sometimes you have your bad days. Sometimes you guys just, you know, you plan a strategy and it doesn't work and the morale goes down. It's a thing. But no team, I think, is actually super dominant. We got Sweet Bean Jelly finally filling in the 5th spot on Riot. We'll see how this goes. But we got on Riot, Xandria, Unseen, Dr. Sean, Reefer Madness, and Sweet Bean Jelly for a full lineup. It looks like we're about to start in, what, a minute?
Well, we should be starting anytime soon here, as we've already been waiting for about 8 so far. And it looks like that beeper is going off right now, so without further ado, let's get right on into the action. Bring you all onward straight to your home.
Ooh. Interesting loadouts for Riot, I see. Okay, those are 2 LMGs. I was a little concerned. I've seen a lot of teams come in without LMGs on defense. And while some maps that's acceptable, like Tanker especially is one where you don't need all the ammo in the world. But this one, you kind of need it to cut off lanes.
Please nerf the LMG. OP, please ban.
Don't listen to him, Dante. Don't listen to him. I love it. Add more ammo.
Well, same thing for the shield, Dante, but everyone's gonna disagree on me with that one.
I defend the shield. Oh, and a pickup from
Dr. Shot onto Wilson straight off the bat. That's a trade, but Deadly Z is going to be able to get that confirmed. So now both teams have effectively lost 1 member.
Yeah, that was a... I mean, this is probably the best spawn for offense against this objective. They can spawn all the way over by the motel. They can spawn all the way in the south over by this plane wing that's hanging up. And those aren't really ideal spawns for this, but if you spawn behind the roof in this objective area, you actually have a lot of ways to go. You can go left, you can go right from the roof, you can split up your team, which is exactly what Delta Squad's doing. They're doing a 2v2 push, one down the north alleyway, and another one going around the dunes for a nice flank.
Reaper Madness is able to shut down that drone intel as it kind of meanders its way around. We also have a 2-man Delta Squad push going to the south. Scratch and Random kind of going at it, literally using the map to its fullest extent. And when I mean fullest extent, I mean I literally cannot move my camera any further over to get you a better angle. That's how far reaching of the map. That's how much of the map they are using, I want to say. That's the word.
Yeah, there's invisible walls over there, so while you can go around behind the dunes, once you get on top of the dunes closer to the plane wing, it's going to start cutting you off and forcing you over the hill. But yeah, an interesting defense. Reefer Madness is the only one holding up this, I guess, north push down the alleyway. He's the only one that's going to be able to adequately respond to it. Interesting defense, though. Very interesting.
I almost wish that Downpour actually made the map boundaries over those dunes, so you can go just a little bit beyond there. Maybe try to get a nice little flank around from the dune side. But I could see why that they put it there as is.
Yeah, I mean, you just move the invisible wall back 10 units and rebuild the project. But anyways, we don't need to go into map making during the cast. And the flank begins.
One burning.
Reefer Madness is going to try and respond to the guys coming from the dunes.
Sweet Bean's gonna be able to find Scratch right behind the camera. He's gonna look for the second one on Soko.
Riot is definitely pushing back on this Delta offense. I don't think they see Deadly Z, and if they do, they're not taking shots at him.
Well, Soko is able to find Reaper. He does give a good call out as well.
Deadly Z does have a good shot on the people in Burning, and Unseen gets Death Legion with a headshot over by the Hummer. North pushes down to 1 man, South pushes down to 1 man. Let's see if Delta Squad can pick it up. It's still a 2v3, and it's now a 1v3.
Yeah, Xandria is able to pick up that nice little one. Last member is Random Thing Soko, has been doing so well, but he gets picked up by Xandria. It's actually a trade between Xandria and Sweet Bean, which is...
I died. Oh, no.
Don't try to connect the lines. It happened that way, but...
I mean, it's...
Ooh, and there's a drop on Riot's part as well. I think that was Dr. Sean.
Perfect timing. They just won the round, and that's the perfect time to have a drop.
I know.
Definitely not in the middle of the game.
Yeah, I mean, it does mess with the kind of momentum, the mental momentum. Does that rhyme? Does that rhyme? Mental momentum?
A little bit.
I feel like that's something we cannot say that 5 times really fast. That is just not gonna happen. Mental momentum. I do like saying that though. Add that to the list of things Todd likes to say. But anyways, you were saying, Snooper.
Well, to anyone just joining the cast, basically you can reset the round within the first 15 seconds if someone drops, but after that timer, like let's say in the middle of the round, Dr. Sean suddenly disappeared because, you know, power went out, internet dropped, packet loss, whatever, they can't restart. They now have to work with a guy that's just gone. Unfortunately, that's a fact of PvP multiplayer gaming. You know, your LAN, sometimes it fails, sometimes your Wi-Fi fails, whatever. But it happens.
Yep. That's just, it's one of the perks of working at home. You don't really have the most secure connection, and same thing for at-home esports.
Oh yeah.
You're gonna have to deal with the struggles of normal competitive esports.
Yeah,
like,
I mean, it's
any open, comp mode.
It's a typical thing of multiplayer games. It should be better after 1.8, from what I understand. By the way, I'm going to plug our Quest port. It's coming out in what, 2 days, guys? 2 days and some hours? I mean, if you're in the chat.
What is today? It's the 28th, right? Yeah, 2 days, and yeah, you're spot on there, bud.
Yeah, I mean, let's be realistic about game development. Sometimes things at the last minute require delays, so if it happens, let's not be too mad at the devs. That just means they're fixing stuff. Yeah,
it's better that they would take the time to actually release, a high quality piece of content rather than release a firestorm on time.
Yes, we are not Star Citizen. But anyways, back to the second round. Shots fired.
RSI burned, and so is Xandria, as Wilson's able to pick that one up immediately. He wasn't expecting that quick of a push. Unseen might live up to his name here if he's able to just get this peek around the corner. He has to be really quiet though, and that he is. Keep in mind, he does have assist. Yeah, he does have assist from the top. Unseen. He can just ask for someone to. Oh, he is the unseen threat still to this day. No one has seen him kill ever since.
He knew exactly when to push around that corner. Unseen is just really good at that.
Yeah.
But Wilson also got a good pick on Riot there. He took out... who was that? Xandria.
Xandria,
already out. Yeah. Good ambush from Wilson.
Yeah, that was a really hard push from Xandria. He literally stopped just feet too late and exposed himself a little too much for Wilson there. And Wilson took the fullest advantage of that, but luckily Xandria, I'm sorry, that Unseen is able to even the backup for Riot, and now we're into a 4v4.
I'd like to remind everyone that played back in the alpha and beta days, this is what it used to be, a 4v4 game, and the devs just added 2 more slots. I can imagine after 1.8 we'll be seeing bigger game modes with more people. They might not be for Quest, so I'm sorry to say that, because there's some restrictions on a Snapdragon.
Man, don't give me too crazy hype here, man. Don't
I can see some cool PCVR 10v10 kind of stuff going on in 1.8. That's just my opinion. It's nothing confirmed. Just I'm hoping, you know, big team battle stuff.
Well, our
Smoke
job
goes out.
is to shed our opinions, so
That
I
is true.
can't fault you for that one.
Well, a perfect smoke goes out, covering the objective. Unfortunately, I don't think anyone can get there to cap. Trade goes out.
Yeah, Dr. Sean does. No, it's actually not a trade. It's just a double refrag.
Oh.
Soko does find Dr. Sean, but Sweet Bean Jelly will be able to get the refrag onto Soko.
Yes.
So now we're into a
man.
3v3. Delta Squad's defense has been a lot better than their offense, but this might be the thing that can keep them in the game.
Usually, even teams on even skill level will usually trade defenses. I mean, defense is usually easier than offense. You just sort of have to sit there and camp on defense, which that's your job. You're defending something. You know, use that. And Marsoc, of course, is on offense, and they got to move, and that sort of puts them at a disadvantage. It's the onus on them to actually get there and get the kills and put the code in.
Oh, and Deadly is... Oh, did Deadly miss his opportunity?
One made it behind
A little
us.
bit, yeah.
Wow.
But, I mean, he's alive, though. Ooh.
I had my...
Reefer Madness catches Scratch on the rotation over to the double wire buildings.
Yeah. When he might get... Oh, he almost gets caught out by Deadly this time.
Yeah, he's in a pretty dangerous position for the defense, though. Especially with Sweeping coming around. Ooh,
Oh,
doesn't get
he's
the kill.
ready for that one now. Reefer knows exactly what's going on. It looks like that he had a couple lasers coming his way as well. Oh, he's had that...
Ooh, solid hit in the head from Reefer Madness onto Deadly Z Driver. Now it's all down to a 1v2. Unseen is coming up behind Death Legion.
I have a feeling someone's going to clip that because of a different reason, but I think he was just one-handing it. He got lucky, but... Oh, he almost found Death Legion, but yeah, like you said, Death has just had the better... Unseen's in capping range. But he...
Oh, no. Get the kill. Yeah, there you
we
go.
go.
That's a smart decision.
Yeah, that's a smarter decision at that point. You never know what he's going to do. Unseen definitely had the capping opportunity, but unfortunately that just didn't play out. Riot will get a second round on their Marsoc round.
To our newer viewers, if you type in the code on the objective, you get 2 points for the map, and that can cut down the amount of rounds you have to play on a certain map significantly. And I mean, 2 points.
I mean, 2 points is always better than 1.
Exactly. And if you're the last one alive on the objective and you're not entirely sure if you can defend it, the best decision is actually to die. I know that sounds counterintuitive to actually winning, but you don't want the other team to get that 2 points. It's really hard to overcome it. You essentially have to win 2 rounds or cap back, which isn't impossible. I mean, you can certainly get a cap on offense. Delta Squad can come back and hit Riot again. Well, Riot didn't cap, so sorry if I'm implying that. But
There was no cap.
there was no cap. But it's really hard on morale to go down on a cap. You know, you think you're defending the objective, and then all of a sudden you see in front of you, you failed to defend the uplink. And you realize someone snuck in there. Someone put the code in while you weren't looking.
Someone did the exact thing you were told not to do.
Yes. I remember I was playing on Tanker in a league match, and I was literally the guy on objective. I could touch the objective. I had a Molotov on my chest. And guess what? Smithy capped literally with the pad on my back. It can happen anywhere.
Smithy thing to do.
Yeah. We had a good giggle about it. But you really do need to defend that objective, and they can sneak in there. That's the risk of not having full eyes on where you can cap. And essentially the capping radius is about, what, 1-2 meters around in a perfect sphere. So some maps can have some really interesting cap areas.
Delta Squad are going to start up their Marsoc round with a quick spawn. Onto this gas station objective. This could be pretty chaotic depending on how Riot choose to play it.
Xandria and Dr. Sean having a great time. They're feeling pretty good after 2 points. Xandria goes down pretty quickly to Death Legion on a quick spawn in the south. Dr. Sean's coming up for the backup. Maybe a res? Yeah, yep. Res goes out, and Xandria dies again. Dr. Sean putting some rounds down into the south to try and push back. Push, but that's 3 of them. He gets 1. And a refrag comes out for random things. Unseen picks up a headshot on Death Legion, and the whole south push is now completely eliminated.
Well, Selko could still get res. That nade would have gotten it if it was skewed slightly differently, but now Sweet Bean's able to reap the crops of that he's planted so far, and they'd be able to get that confirm as well as Wilson makes his way on up. I'm kind of seeing a bit of a schism here in Delta Squad's tactic. We see, you know, the 3 on the south getting really aggressive with it, and they had the right idea. They were following up on their own aggression. They were getting those refrags, but at the same time, you gotta, if you're gonna play an aggressive strat like that, you gotta have all 5 members getting aggressive like that. Otherwise, it's just not gonna work. You're only really, it becomes a 3v5, and you do not want to, in any circumstances, give the enemy that kind of an advantage.
Yeah, stacking up can be a really dangerous thing. Granted, the momentum from a 3-person push against 1 person can really do some heavy damage, especially on a quick spawn like that. It's just, sometimes it comes down to the luck of the draw, who gets the most accurate fire, and Dr. Sean won that one. And of course, Dr. Sean got eliminated very quickly once he started fighting back.
Yeah, that aggression was able to get Dr. Sean because they had someone right behind. You know, you can't target with a single gun 2 people at the same time unless it's a shotgun.
Well, even then, you're not going to get full damage in this game.
Oh, Unseen, why? You stealing Reaper Madness's kill, man. That is caught on cast. If anyone has any dispute in the Riot Discord, let there be war. Unseen is able to get that revive though. I guess that's fair then for stealing his kill.
Well, Scratch needs to move up very quick if he wants to go for that res, but I don't think he's going to do it. He's going to catch out Sweet Bean Jelly. Doesn't get the shot.
Oh, the nade!
Unfortunately, I don't think Scratch was, I think he was having a bit of tracking trouble there, because I saw his gun pop out of his hand a few times, aim down. That's unfortunate. But it was a good push from Delta Squad. Dr. Sean successfully countered it and blunted the attack, but I mean, that was a pretty heavy push, and I was very worried for the Riot defense there until they got pushed back.
Yeah, it was definitely looking a little hairy at the start. I feel like Delta Squad can work off of that aggression going forward. Like, it worked for them a lot better than I think their previous rounds, but they just weren't coming at it with full force. Like I said, they only had 3 people initially attacking that out of the 5, and
yeah.
And that you need to coordinate an aggressive push. Otherwise, you're just playing a pub lobby. You need to let people know what you're doing, so that way the rest of your team can figure out where they need to be in order to help, you know, your other guy out. If not, if you're just hanging out in the back, you are hanging out in the back. You are not being able to really see the objective that well. You're not able to provide the support you need, and that's kind of where Delta Squad, I think, went wrong. Is they just didn't have the right support at the right time. They had the correct idea. It was just the execution was a little off.
Yeah, I mean, some smoke grenades, a few more nades probably would have helped clear the way, or at least distract Riot enough for them to get around the corner, but it's still a tough objective to get to unless the whole team wants to rotate around to the middle. You only really have one option to attack this objective. It's either around the ambulance side or around the south, which is what we saw from Delta Squad there. And like I said, it comes down to the luck of who gets the shots on who, and I mean, it certainly was a back and forth there for a while. It definitely didn't lean one way or another.
Well, here we go. We are now into round 4. And Riot has been very dominant here on map 1.
If I remember correctly, Riot's actually pretty good at quarantine. They understand the rotations. They understand the better spots to defend from, and then where you need to rotate to. I honestly think this is one of Riot's more practice maps.
You know, it's really funny, though. Back when we were on the team, Xandria specifically said he never wanted to play quarantine. He just never understood it. But now here we are. Riot team are doing really well on quarantine, and Dr. Sean's got a laser on him. I don't think he realizes that he's being tracked.
Well, they see him. I mean, that's information. Shots didn't go out. Riot spawning behind the roof, they definitely have options, and they're using them.
One of the scaffolding.
What's that? 2 of them went through the middle. One of them, missing one on my mini map, unfortunately, but it's a good, solid push from Riot. Also, a very, very good setup on defense. They're a little spread out, but they're not far enough away where they can't rotate back. You know what I mean?
Yeah, they are definitely hanging out more on the objective.
Going on in the middle and Deadly.
Dr. Sean's just not having his day on this map. And, ooh, another pick onto Xandria as well. This is looking great for Delta Squad off the bat.
Yeah, like I said, solid defense. They got one in center burning. Even if that guy doesn't get kills, he's giving out information. Yeah. And he already got killed, so his job is done. With Xandria down on the roof and Dr. Sean dead and burning, that's, well, they're down to 3 Riot members.
I think Xandria sees Scratch, though, so he's radioing that to Sweet Bean, who's been kind of held up by Scratch for a little bit now.
Yeah, to our new viewers, once again, if you have there's a chance you can go down. You don't exactly take a full lethal shot. You just go down and your body's on the ground. You can't move, but you can talk on your radio and you can sort of walk around your play space and look at stuff. So it's useful in that way. You can give out information to your team, but you're gonna bleed out in like what, 2.5 minutes?
2 minutes, I believe, is the number on that. But don't quote me. I have not looked at the. I have not timed. I have not taken a pistol to my foot in a stopwatch recently, so I don't know.
You don't practice that?
Oh, no. I don't practice self-downing in Onward.
There you go. We got some pistol shots coming out from Wilson. He's not shooting at anything, so I assume he's trying to distract, draw fire, which, mind you, is a very viable strategy. If you've ever watched any kind of animated war or battle documentaries, a lot of them kind of they hinge on basically distracting the foe and then doing a hammer and anvil kind of thing and attacking from the sides. And while Riot tried to do that, it didn't quite work. They got caught out of rotation. Catches Death Legion. Or no, Death Legion's still alive. Who did I see catch? Oh, he just confirmed the down on Delta Squad. Okay, fair. Delta Squad definitely holding down the defense right now.
Yeah, they're doing a really good job. Riot can get their reses on and be able to work their way on, but I feel like Riot's a little too invested right now to be able to kind of pull that off. So this could easily become a point for Riot here.
Sweeping Jelly is currently behind the lines, but he's been spotted out by Scratch. Now he's in a dangerous spot.
I think he's also very aware of that gas station location. Hey, that also rhymes.
Yeah, Sweeping's definitely aware that someone's in the gas station. He knows that once he starts firing at Scratch, that gas station's going to try and get him. Because you know, like, the gas station guy knows if Sweeping's shooting at Scratch, he's not shooting at the gas station or even looking there. So he has the advantage of poking out and getting that kill. And Death Legion's doing the smart thing. He's waiting for the opportunity to either ambush or refrag. And that's some really, really intelligent tactics going on right now. Scratch is doing a great job keeping Sweet Bean focused on him too. Yeah. Well, it's kind of slowed down. We're down to our last minute 20.
Yeah, and Riot are really trying to stay focused here in order to be able to capture this objective. Unseen is leaving no spot unleaded. Assuming it's lead. Could be a full metal jacket, but I don't really know that much about real life gun stuff, so I'll leave that to the nuts.
We don't need to get into it. Sweeping going in. Catches Death Legion, goes in.
But he's able to give good callouts to Unseen. This might pressure Wilson to try to go for the res and the confirm, but
Unseen is living up to his name right now.
He's unseen, but he's definitely not unheard, and Deadly Z will pick up on that hearing. Delta Squad will get their first point just when they needed it most.
Yeah, that's That's really the danger of missing an ambush shot. Like, you're creeping around, they don't know where you are, you successfully got through all the lines, crossed all the streets, and you finally have a guy in your sights. And then you miss it. And all your stealth is blown. It's like in Metal Gear Solid, the alarms go off, dudes are running at you now. It's a thing. I mean, it's PvP. It's natural for a refrag to come out, for people to search for where that fire is coming from, and unfortunately, Unseen missed his shot and then got promptly taken out. Mind you, he does have 6 kills and 1 death, so...
Unseen's been doing pretty good.
Yeah, the kill spread is still pretty even. I think Riot's... Actually, yeah, it's pretty even. I think there's maybe a 1 or 2 kill spread difference. And while the point difference is pretty significant, it's really the kill spread that kind of shows whether a team is equal or not. And you can see it's kind of a back and forth, and it comes down to who can actually finish. And right now, Riot's been successfully holding their defense, and then they got a Marsoc round, and a Marsoc round is a very valuable win, considering it's rather difficult to overcome a full team of campers, which is what Volk is essentially doing the whole time. Like, that's their job.
Yeah. Well, Riot are definitely coming into this round with the advantage. This is a very defendable objective, but the key is with this particular wireframe that you can see on screen is to not let the enemy get anywhere near the objective. Once they get close enough, that's when the defense starts getting pressure. That's when they can start making mistakes. But we'll see how Riot handle their defense here, and if they can take away map 1, or if Delta Squad can cling on and maybe tie it up if they can get the cap.
Yeah, and Riot's definitely feeling good about how they're playing. They may have lost the last round, but they think they can definitely close it in from what I'm hearing. Reefer madness. But yeah, you definitely want to keep the morale up, keep the spirits high. I mean, with any battle, if you've played paintball, if you played any kind of sport, you want to keep your morale up. Once it goes down, for any reason.
My apologies, I'm looking at the wrong objective. This is still the same kind of principle, but this is definitely a much easier objective for Delta Squad to work their way on up with. I thought it was the wireframe, not the wall.
Yeah, I was looking, I didn't see it. But, I mean, it's the same concept. You generally don't want to let them get near. There's no real interesting capping spots where they can sort of tuck in and have a few more extra seconds to put the code in. But it's also pretty out there, like the one you were talking about.
Sweet Bean Jelly on that roof is taking some pot shots somewhere. I don't know. It looks like he realizes that he's got a presence. Very unwelcome, nonetheless, along that wireframe. They announce themselves. They announce their presence at least, but they do not land their shots. Looks like another drone attempt comes out, but gets shut down again. Sweet Bean's able to find Scratch.
-1.
Finally.
Ooh, that was a good pick.
Very nicely done. In a very interesting angle, but he's able to pull it off. Oh, this rocket of a nade might... Oh, wow. The cover comes in clutch.
That was a really good nade for how far it was, though. Like, that was on
That
point.
was very on point.
Yeah, guys.
Is getting a couple of like Sweet Bean is locking up the entirety of Delta Squad right now. Yeah, there we go.
One man can be that big of a threat. I mean, there's been plenty of real life battles where, I mean, I remember a story in this. We don't need to talk about the war right now, but one man can definitely hold up an army.
Reefer is holding up Wilson permanently now. Dr. Sean is able to find Death Legion as well.
One thing I've noticed about Riot is when they start shooting at people, they're very accurate. Deadly Z Driver catches Sweet Bean. I think Sweet Bean kind of forgot that Deadly Z was over there, or at least maybe he was charging him on the attack.
I think Sweet Bean thought there was only one person over there, and that he wasn't expecting the team up from Delta Squad there. So definitely good planning on the part of Delta Squad to kind of account for the fact that Riot don't really double up their defense.
No. But Deadly Z is still in a pretty good place to get to the objective. He may be alone.
He's got plenty of time too.
Yeah. And he's got 4 people to kill, but that's not... It sounds like a big hurdle, But where he's at, if Riot charged him or if he starts finding a good angle, he could start picking Riot apart, and he's got the time to do it.
Yeah. And it looks like that there is a little bit of confusion on Riot's part as to where the exact location of him is, of Deadly is. They're not moving around as if they know, like they're not focused on the angle. Reaper it does know now. Hopefully he radios that out so now Riot can know where exactly that is. It looks like he's able to get that. Reaper finds Deadly Z Driver, and Riot will take map 1 4-1.
Yeah, they played very well on Quarantine. Their defense was top tier there. They locked up Delta Squad most of the time and stopped any hard pushes. I mean, bravo, Riot. Delta Squad, though, still showing their teeth, certainly getting a ton of kills. Good rotations, solid nade from Deadly Z Driver. Unfortunately, it didn't connect, but, I mean, that was a pretty good fight, guys.
Well, we're going to move on to map 2 now, which is going to be Cargo.
Ooh. A little bit of a favorite, I think.
Now, this is Riot's pick. This isn't... Because keep in mind, Delta Squad are home. I almost keep calling him Delta Wilson.
Yeah, that's essentially
clan tags messed me up a bit. I will happily admit that. There used to be a time where we used to run clan tags on Riot back when it was called Magnificent Bastards, and even that began to mess people up. The olden days. I'm mainly gonna blame Gladiator for that though, because everyone used to call him Rome Gladiator.
Oh yeah. But I mean, the old days were a little, how to put it, a little more Wild West. You could call yourself whatever you want.
I got away with a 3-word name that you might be familiar with, Snooper.
Yeah, I mean, if you've ever watched Parks and Recreation, there might be a very charming Indian character that everyone loves. And let's just put a curse word in the middle of his name, and that's pretty much where Todd was
I'm actually not named after that, but okay. It's
Really?
close enough. No, nope.
All right, we don't need to go into that now. But anyways.
It's Todd Habercorn is what the T and the H stand for. I'll let everyone imagine what the
But yeah, on to Cargo. This objective, a rather interesting one, considering it's in the middle of 4 boxes in the center of one side of the map. And the map's actually not very big, so the plays are they're going to happen quick and they're going to happen fast unless one team really slows it up. So they don't have much room to maneuver. They don't have much travel time, really. And this objective is pretty open. There's no real places to tuck in besides the door there. But still, you can get shot from under the door, and of course you're in the middle of enemy territory there, and you're just going to get slammed.
I'm sorry, my scoreboard's messed up. Delta Squad got a point on map 1. I can attest to that, and I'm going to make sure I get the scores right this time.
They definitely got a point on map 1.
They definitely got a very well-deserved point.
Yeah.
But regardless, this is map 2 now, and it is start time.
Thankfully, we haven't seen a drop since Dr. Sean went out, so...
Yeah, game's been running smoothly. Couldn't really ask for more.
Yeah. An interesting defensive loadout from Delta Squad. No LMGs at all. I see a bunch of AK-12s and AK-74U with a silencer. Do I see any C4? No.
Cargo's more of a personal skill kind of thing, so whatever. Unseen is able to find random thing, as well as Sweet Bean kind of himself in on that kill as well. Reaper Madness rocking the shield just charges his way on up there. Plenty of smoke coverage all around there. Dr. Sean is on objective. No one is checking for it. Dr. Sean might run away with 2 kills here as Reaper Madness kind of acts as the distraction, and woohoo! There's a cap right there on round 1. What else could we ask for?
I don't know, but the sheer momentum of that push from Riot. I mean, at first, Reefer Madness poked out with the shield, drew fire to the shield while his teammates took out those 2 first members of Delta Squad. And after that, the full Riot team just zoomed down that side and wiped out everything, well, everything they needed to cap. Bravo, Dr. Sean, for the cap. Solid tuck-in. Reefer Madness running around the shield, trying to provide distraction, but no one was looking at him. I'm genuinely confused why no one was looking at the objective on the opposite rotation, except for maybe they thought Riot couldn't possibly be there already.
Yeah, I think Delta Squad was anticipating a bit of more of a slower Riot. They weren't anticipating so much of the aggression um, right off the bat, but all that smoke there. When you see smokes on the objective, the last place you want to be is not on the objective. Like,
Yeah.
that's exactly what they want you to be. So if you are on the objective, you have some way of defending it.
Now, I will mind you that round was like what, 30 seconds at most.
I'm pretty sure if
Well,
I were to clip that whole round, it would fit within the normal Twitch clip, you know, whatever
yeah,
they call it. Like, you could easily clip that entire round. Matter of fact, someone please do that. That was an amazing round. But
that was a play of the game for sure.
yeah, we haven't even seen the whole game, and you're already calling that, man.
That was a good push.
Snooper is cashing in early.
But yes, I agree with you. Whenever you see smoke come out, it's a good strategy to try and rotate into it because, I mean, someone can hide in it, someone can cap in it, someone could wipe out your whole, flank. It's a danger. You need to be aware that that's where the danger is probably going to come from.
See how Riot are riding off of that energy.
Oh,
They actually seem to be pretty chill. It seems like another day in the office for them.
Yep, and I'm seeing some interesting loadouts. I see a Val, which is a silenced 20-round automatic weapon, and
I love
two
the Val.
C4s. Two C4s, and it looks.
I will go on for days about how good the Val is.
Yeah, I know you love the Val. Lots of smokes coming out. 6 smokes. Reaper Madness catches Wilson. I'm gonna mind you, there's 2 C4s, so get ready for the boom booms.
Oh yeah. Oh, I don't think we have to worry about the boom booms. Riot's tossing smoke back or tossing their own. I don't know whose it is at this point, but regardless, there's smoke on field and plenty of it to go around. Riot are still a 5-man strong squad. Delta Squad have already lost 1 member. Xandria is going to trade with Scratch, bringing it down to a 4v3.5. Looks like Deadly Z and Random Soko are going to kind of team up there. Death Legion's able to find Sweet Bean Jelly with a refrag. So now Riot are 3 strong, and so are Delta Squad. They've evened it up. But this shield push is kind of coming really slowly here. Random Soko is able to find Dr. Sean because they weren't predicting that little crack. Unseen's going to respond to that by trying to shoot back into the crack. But now that's going to lock up Soko from the shield. But looks like that. And the C4 is right there. Oh, man. Is that Clacker man still alive? And it is. It's a double. Wow.
That wasn't even a down. It just obliterated him.
Death Legion will be able to find Reefer Madness on that respawns. Now we're into a 1v1. It's Unseen Threat versus Death Legion, and I think Unseen's currently lived up to his name. He has not been seen yet.
Yeah, it's a bit of a mystery as to where that last guy is after all that chaos.
Oh, Unseen
I can imagine Death Legion's
around. This could be really bad. This could be, or it's not really bad. It's gonna be really great for Delta Squad as they could try to find a point here. I hope Delta Squad are able to get, a map here so we could get a round 3 decider. But if I have it already, I'm going to just declare I have a pretty massive bias toward Riot because I spent so much of my time playing for them. So I'm sorry if the inner fan in me comes out here. I'm going to try to keep this as neutral as I possibly can, but there are times when it just kind of seeps out.
Yeah, let's try not to favor one side or the other. I mean, I love both teams. I played on Riot, but I also did some when I was starting casting. Delta Squad let me practice on their rounds, and I've certainly seen them do some good work, and they've definitely improved.
Yeah,
since I
Delta
first saw
Squad
them.
have always been very caster friendly. Matter of fact, they would always ask for casts, and so that's always kind of cool to get DM'd. I'm gonna specifically say DM'd and asked to cast because you're just their favorite caster. But Unseen is just.
I mean, he's doing the right thing.
That man's making me nervous.
Well, he's doing the right thing. He's looking around both sides. He's making sure. Like if he just hung out by the door and did what he was doing, Death Legion could actually use that to sneak up behind him and cap. So really, Unseen's best strategy is to run around like a madman and draw fire and die, or find Death Legion and get the kill. But he doesn't want a cap to happen, which is why he's circling around. He's making a lot of noise. Death Legion knows exactly where he is. I mean, 2 minutes and 45 seconds is a ton of time.
Death Legion's a really good player. I can attest to that because I had him on my rookie boot camp tournament team, and a little bit of a rookie boot camp captain thing is like, did I train my players enough? In which case, no, I didn't train my players at all. They all just came in with their natural skill, and Death Legion was just one of those ones that just went out and murdered everyone in his path. So, ooh, Unseen is getting pretty peaky now.
Yeah, I mean, to all our newer viewers and future Quest players, we're definitely going to get you guys in the league as soon as we can. There is a Onward Rookie Bootcamp server that has tournaments, I don't know, what, once every season, twice every season, or mid-season? I don't know. I'm not exactly clued into the orb. But if you want to get into the league, but you don't exactly want to jump in, be a reservist, do the league first, you just want to see what, competitive play might be like, the orb is a great place to start.
Yeah, it's a great way to kind of get a bit of a taste of what league play is about, since it's very different than what you're gonna experience in a comp lobby or what have you. And Unseen is just dancing with death right now. He literally is dancing with death, and they don't even realize it, that they're dancing with each other. Just where the lasers are lining up in the grander scheme of things here. I think Death Legion is locked in on the position. He's just trying to find the angle so he can shoot Unseen's feet, but Unseen's just not revealing himself.
Yeah, he's down to essentially his last 70 seconds, 1 minute left. I mean,
the advantage that Death Legion has is that Unseen doesn't know where he is, but Death Legion, I'm very sure, I'm like 90% sure Death Legion knows exactly where Unseen is.
Yeah, I don't like to say what I would do, but I'd say the better strategy would be for Death Legion to sort of silently rotate around.
It looks like that's what he's going to try to do.
Ooh, he is actually kind of sneaking. He's going to hear the 30-second beeper in about 5.
Oh, he's giving away his position. Unseen knows he's in a bit of a...
Ooh, and Death Legion gets it in the last 20 seconds. Solid play from Death Legion there.
Very nicely done, yes. Just held his angle for as long as he possibly could, let Unseen wear himself out, and just came in hot. Exactly what Delta Squad needed on this map to kind of work their way back up, especially after Riot just capped.
Yeah, that was a solid play from Death Legion. I'll admit I was questioning it. I didn't exactly know how that was going to play out, because you kind of want to use your time to just be somewhere else, in my opinion. But I mean, Death Legion, he had his own strategy. He stuck to it. He knew what he needed to do, and he did it. He did it with gusto. He did it with momentum, and he got the kill.
He did what he had to do, even though it might have killed Unseen a little bit on the inside to have checked all those corners so many times. Matter of fact, someone could probably take that video and add a ticker to it for how many corners he's checked every single time. But yeah, with a little ding sound for every time he does, and it's just ding, 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 ding. But
he was doing the smart thing.
He was doing a very smart thing. It's a hard objective to defend, and being in a 1v1 on defense is just not where you want to be. I'm almost wondering why on earth Reefer rotated the way he did, because they could have had that match if Reefer didn't rotate in. But then again, I can understand kind of how Riot's mentality going to that was, and just they got caught out in some pretty unlucky places. And I'm sorry, I said Death Legion there, but Delta Squad were able to get that point there, and I'm pretty sure they're going to be very happy with that.
Yeah, I mean, that was a solid play. It worked out for Death there. I mean, 4 kills. He's MVP of his team right now. I'm looking at the loadouts on Delta Squad. I'm seeing a PKM. Random's having a bit of an issue loading his belt-fed machine gun. For anyone who hasn't played,
troubling at times, we all have those days where it just doesn't want to go in, and you know what? It happens. Gotta give it time.
To our newer players, you do have to load the belt-fed guns from the beginning. They start unloaded, so keep that in mind.
It took me a YouTube tutorial on Onward to figure that out when I started playing.
But it is pretty accurate to the process, so you're going to learn something, mainly how to load a PKM and a saw machine gun, so it's going to be fun.
Yeah, and the same thing for the 104 as well.
Interesting assault from Riot there.
Xandria with the nade on the Death Legion.
But he is resable.
Yeah,
and it's going to happen.
It probably will. Yeah, there it is.
Yep.
It looks like that a C4 went off a little early. Reefer Madness shield. He's going to take fire. Delta Wilson will trade with Unseen. The rest of Fire are going to work their way on out. Reaper Mammoth is primed. And one pig. Xandria finds a refrag onto that one. Xandria is charging through the smokes now onto Death Legion. Oh, Xandria's going to go tab out. On the inside, you can cap there still. A lot of people forget that. And Death Legion is going to be one of those. This could be it for Delta Squad. Riot will win the map and the match with the
I'm gonna be honest.
Back-to-back caps for them.
Wow. I mean, I've played
and I left the overlap for
thousands
that.
of hours.
Good for me. Good for. I'm mad.
Actually, I just learned something today. I mean, I played. You know how many hours I played. I'm in the like 1,600 hours.
Yep,
That's
I know.
the first time I realized you could cap there.
I know. I'm just more mad that I left the overlay up for the entirety of that. But regardless, Riot will come. I hope.
We apologize, Chad.
I'm more mad at myself, but
yeah. Anyways, that was. I mean, you'll be able to see it. Put it on full screen. We've tried to make the overlays not as intrusive as they used to be.
Yeah.
But we're sorry for that, guys. But Riot did get a good cap there. It was a good back and forth, but they got an edge, and they just kept pushing and pushing and pushing. I still say these have been pretty even. It's always been a back and forth. It's just Riot can close it out, and that's really what matters.
Yeah. Riot's endgame is definitely much stronger than Delta Squad's in this case. I think Delta Squad have a tendency to teeter off when it comes to the final minutes of a round, whereas Riot, they just find this kind of hidden energy, and they can really work with it as they go on.
They're also very good at the, how to put it, like lower, like when it's like a 3v3 or a 1v2 or something like lower player counts left on the field. They're much better at that, it seems. It's like, I mean, Death Legion, there's certainly some wonderful plays that have happened from Delta Squad, but Riot's just been able to make those in-game plays more successfully.
Well, as you can see on the scoreboard, map 3 is going to be Suburbia, which kind of follows with how I think Riot wanted to play this in the first place, but maybe that's just a map that Delta Squad feel really confident on, and they want to bring, they don't care if they bring kind of Riot's play style to them, but I don't know, it's an interesting choice.
Everyone kind of likes this map, I think. I mean, it's got its
problems.
problems.
Hates it. They practice it so much, but the thing is, they practice it so much that they don't know any other map that they don't feel confident on.
Yeah, this is one of the original OG maps. It's been updated since, but not layout-wise. So we've been playing it for, what, 3 years now? 3.5 years?
Oh, yeah. I think, I don't think anything has really changed on Suburbia aside from little tweaks here and there to like allow for people to climb the slide.
But Riot's definitely feeling good after that.
Oh, they've won the match. Like, what else could you want?
Yeah, I mean, for anyone just tuning in and a little unfamiliar with the way Onward works, it's a 2v3 kind of, or 2 out of 3 kind of thing. And of course, Riot's won 2 maps, so they have the match. But we're gonna play the 3rd map just for some sweet MMR points and some possible wins. We don't know, but that all feeds into MMR, which essentially determines what your rank is as a team. So the 3rd map, while they can't win anything, it definitely matters to Delta Squad. But it's also more of a fun, loose map if you're not playing for the win. Oh, and Xandria gets annihilated by Scratch and Deadly Z.
Yeah, he saw Scratch go by, kind of had a thing of tunnel vision happen, and just, yeah, he didn't know how to let go of the thought.
Yeah, this is definitely a good push from Delta Squad, though. They wiped out Xandria. They're throwing grenades. They're hitting all the points where people would hide. Now, are they going to catch Dr. Sean and Unseen, and then the refrags from Sweet Bean?
Great smokes on objective. This is some great coverage.
Death Legion is catching the Reaper like Star, preventing the flank. We're all down to a 2v2 or 1v2.
Yeah, Delta Squad just didn't get the better of that push. I think that entire side got annihilated by Riot.
You stay annihilated, but I mean, both sides took a lot of
Oh,
bodies
that's
there.
true. Yeah, Riot did lose 3 members. One of them was really early, but there's nothing left on that side. There's nothing left on that side. It's all Death Legion who chose to be the flank here, and this is kind of what I'm talking about with timing in Delta Squad. Is that I've noticed that their flanker kind of operates on a different timetable than the main push. Like the main push is very hard, very heavy. It's the right idea against this kind of a team. But
he got slowed up by Reefer, and we have
Yeah.
okay. And there, Dr. Sean catches him out on the rotation. It's definitely dangerous to be on that side of the street because you don't really know where the defense is going to be. They got a lot of porches, they got a lot of hedges, they got a lot of stuff they can use. So being the last guy alive, it's kind of rough. But to what you were saying, Todd, he got kind of held up there. He took out Reefer Madness on his pushover, and that slowed him down. Granted, maybe his team should have held back a bit, maybe not try and push until he was ready. I don't know. I'm not going to make those decisions. I'm not on the ground. And it's a lot different once you're, first person, you got the gun in your hand, and you suddenly have to make all the decisions. It's a lot different than the caster view, where you can see everything.
Yeah, but what I'm saying is, I think Death Legion would have been in a really good spot to catch out some of those picks that Riot were getting, because Riot, to get those picks, had to kind of extend from their defense a little bit. They had to move around and find them physically, where Death Legion could have been in a perfect place to find those, maybe occupy Riot for a little bit to allow maybe one of Delta Squad to work their way in onto the objective and get a code in for themselves.
Yeah, I mean, it's all possible. It's just whether you can actually maneuver, pull it off. I mean, sometimes, like we just saw there, timings get messed up. You're not, you're in the middle of a firefight. You can't sit there and radio into your friends and be like, hey, can you speed it up? No, you got to shoot the guy over there. You got to throw your smokes. I mean, sure, communicate when you can, but sometimes it's just not possible. And I think that's what happened there.
We're going to hop into round 2 now of map 3. Hopefully not leave the overlay up this time.
Yes.
I still feel bad about that. I'm sorry, everyone.
Yeah, I mean, we always feel bad when we don't hit the right buttons. We're very sorry, guys.
But in this new software.
Yeah, we have a whole new up deck. It's going to look super, super great once we all get super used to it, but we're still
working
learning
out our nooks and crannies here and there.
But an interesting defense from Delta Squad here. A little traditional, actually. I've used most of these spots myself. Kind of a throwback to Season 6 defense. No one's on the porches and everyone's in the front yards. Ooh! Good nade from Xandria.
Wow, very nicely thrown, yes. Wilson gets taken down by Xandria. Xandria's going for his...
Ooh, Deadly Z tried to go
was murdered by these people before, but now he's gotten his revenge.
Well, that's the danger of trying to rotate. I mean, yeah, you get the kill, or you get the rotation, or sorry, what am I trying to say? You get the smoke out, you try and move over, but you get caught out on the rotation, and that's what happens.
One white car by objective, 2 white car
Reaper
by
Madness
objective.
is pushing up with the shield onto the Humvee side. It's a very challenging one since it's not very lanular, so it's easy to get pinned, but you can do it just right. It works really nicely, but Scratch is able to find Xandria along lane 2. Riot's momentum is kind of slowly dwindling here, but now Delta Squad is only down to 1 member after another pick happens, and
they know where he is.
Yeah.
That's if they didn't know where random was, I'd say okay, Riot's in a bad place. Yeah.
And random. Sweet Bean even flanks me there as that last pick comes out.
I mean, that's the danger of being the only one alive. You're trying to focus on 1, maybe 2 guys, but you can't manage that third that's flanking around the back. To anyone who's curious, the objectives switch every two rounds. Sorry there. They switch every 2 rounds. So each defense gets a chance on the same objective. So now the new one is over in this middle house. Let me find it real quick. There we go. And it might seem like a little bit of an unfair objective location, considering you have to go up the stairs, you have to clear a whole house to do it, so it's a little bit like Rainbow Six Siege, but you can't blow through the walls, which makes it way harder. But honestly, I think this is more of a Marsoc advantage objective, just because the defense has to concentrate in that house. There has to be 1 or 2 people in there at least, if not more. And if you use that as an offensive, like if you understand that that's where the team's going to be concentrated, you can maneuver your team around to the point where that house is surrounded. You've you've isolated it. You've wiped out the rest of the team that's in that big spawn house, because that's usually the first objective to kill. Some teams try and rush the middle, but honestly, I'm not a fan of that plan. I don't know. What do you think, Todd?
Pure chaos usually works really nicely on this objective, and the best thing you can do is hope that your enemy just gets way too pressured, maintaining that one defensive point, and then kind of let one slip in, especially if they like to spread out. But best thing you do on defense here, I think, is just cram everyone into that house. There's no better place to be, and you might as well just defend inside the house where you have the advantage. But we'll see how Riot choose to defend this one. But Bandry is all about that chaos, and we've seen him back when he was fighting the 5 horsemen rather than joining them, but using like stacking up almost, I think, 4 members into the middle house, and then having only Unseen on the outside. But we'll see what the plan here is. It looks pretty similar. Unseen's kind of taking my old spot back when I first started playing. I remember hugging that Jersey Bear because the only place where I
Okay, it's a full-on push into the middle house. Scratch gets taken out. Deadly's he's coming up with another Riot shield.
He was.
Oh,
Reaper finds a double. And now Sweet Bean has the shield himself, but that shield has been cursed, and now that shield is cooked as well, as Soko finds Reaper Madness.
Yeah, the Molotov goes out. I'm pretty sure he had the Molotov on his chest, so once he died, it fell on the ground and auto-activated. And that is a viable strategy, mind you. You can light the Molotov, put it back on your chest, and then you go off and fight. Now, you do run the danger of accidentally breaking it or someone shooting it, and then you burn yourself alive, but that's the danger of being that kind of player.
Marsoc wins are better than that nade. Oh, wow, what on?
That was a
Soko
C4.
with the team kill as well.
Whoa. I was confused as to how that ended. I saw an explosion. I don't know.
There was a C4 that went up. That was random, but random thing, Soko got a team kill. And then immediately after the team kill, someone died on the front porch.
Very, very strange way to end the round. Even from the caster perspective, I couldn't quite figure out how that played out.
But that was kind of, yeah, that's up there. Definitely.
Well, same defense now, or same position. Let's see how Delta Squad handle this. I mean, I could see Riot doing a full team push considering how confident they are. I think while we wait is a good time to talk about our sponsors.
Ooh, tell me more.
Yeah, we got ProTube VR, Rebuff Reality, Fixit Gaming, Arma, and VR Cover. If you're not in the league and you want to be in the league, I highly recommend the ProTube. Whether you have the Oculus, whether you have Valve Index, whether you have a Vive, get yourself a ProTube. I endorse it wholeheartedly. Get your the Carbon, light, super strong. I personally dug holes in my walls by accident with it. But it also helps your accuracy to the point where you can shoot almost like a normal gun, you know, cross map. You can get those 100-meter range shots. You can shoot through windows where if you're freehanding, there's a little bit of jitter. There's a little bit of, you know, wavy back and forth of trying to stabilize your gun.
Yeah, no, don't forget about the Haptic Cyber Shoes, VR Wear, and Arma, who make our merch. So plenty of sponsors to go around who help support our little kind of grassroots league. Why don't we go ahead and help support them as well?
And to speak about the defense now, I'm seeing some interesting loadouts. I got some night vision. There's a C4.
Oh, I always carry night vision. You know that. I always carry night vision. The reason why? Because if I don't, I'm going to forget it when I need it.
I don't think I have that problem, but I mean, it's an interesting push from Riot. As I said, it's a full team push. into the middle house. Reaper Madness is making it upstairs. Is that a shield?
Yeah, the shield. Oh, Reaper's trying to go for the knife.
Alright, Riot has complete control of middle house. We hear a cap call goes out. Random Soko's gonna come up the stairs. Maybe he's gonna get... He doesn't get Dr. Sean yet. Dr. Sean gets the cap!
What? I am speechless after seeing that just happen.
Best I can figure what happened. I mean, Riot takes every map now with a commanding lead of 5 points on Suburbia. But I'm pretty sure what happened there was Dr. Sean knelt in the smoke while his team got gunned down, or a teammate got gunned down, and he just said, well, I'm going to cap. I don't care if I die.
Yeah, I mean, if you got a lead that far, you know, if you got that commanding of a lead, you might as well just roll with it, you know? Just go all in or all out. And it worked ultimately in the end very well for Riot in that case. But on that note, that's going to be it from the casting desk. My name is TFH, and my co-caster is SnooperFax. This has been Riot versus Delta Squad. Don't forget to check out what other matches are happening both on the Onward side and the Echo side. We've got a million casts of Echo, and they are expanding the casting crew, so definitely plenty of games to go around there over there. So definitely go check that out if you want to. There's something to kind of freshen up your day rather than just Onward. But regardless, we're going to try to get as many casts as we can in for you guys before the update drops, kind of suspending league play for Onward for an I forget, it's like maximum of 3 weeks, but they might start up. I don't really know the proper literature on this, but
it kind of determines whether, or it's determined by how 1.8 performs. I mean, I think everyone's experienced a patch where all of a sudden something's broken, things happen.
The last thing we want to do, I think this has been very very vocal lately, is that nobody wants to have to go through the process of reverting their save or reverting their Onward version back, because we have a lot of Oculus users, and that's nobody wins in that case. They're going back to the old version. So
I have faith though.
I've been very clear about this with you. I'm going to stay very reserved. I have faith in Downpour, but I am not going to. I'm hearing, you know, I am hearing from a lot of people who have seen the update that it is amazing. It works really nicely. It looks like that Downpour have put out something of really good quality. But you know, I know how alpha game, or you know, beta games go, and you know, you can't always trust them to be perfect every single time. So that's why we have this little halt in place just in case, but hopefully we'll be able to get league content back to everyone as soon as possible after the update. But until, I think I have one more cast before the update drops, but until then, we will see you guys later.
Have a good night, guys. Stay safe. Wear a mask.